Scott Appleby has run this Kroc Center. I should spell it K-R-O-C for Joan Kroc of McDonald's fame. He's run that center for several years, and now there's a quantum leap in that Notre Dame is starting its first new school in a century. School of Business, School of Law, School of Religion, and now they're going to have a School of Global Affairs, which is going to be devoted as much to breakthroughs as to analysis. Somebody gave them 40 million or 100 million, something. It's Notre Dame, so it's up there somewhere. And they're going to put it all into this. President Jenkins is all the way behind it. Appleby will be appointing, recommending maybe 30 new faculty. Why is Notre Dame doing this? They say we have plenty of war colleges, we have plenty of political analyses, but we don't know the thinking of the people. And this is to get very close to them, and religion is not the only thing they'll study by any means, but it's a focus. The biggest critique I think we had, the most controversial point, was the word, fundamentalism. It's distinctively an American word. You won't find it in any dictionary anywhere before 1920s or later. As far as we could tell, the word was patented in 1920 in a Baptist magazine and began to be in organizations. By 1925, it broke big. It was our word. What we learned in the project was 1925, the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, RSS and BJP in India, all over the world. You suddenly had this eruption. What was happening was that traditional cultures were being besieged by migration, immigration, technology, whatever it was, and they had to make sense of it. And many made easy transitions. Others got their backs up and legitimately feeling threatened, invented new ways. So we saw fundamentalism not as the old-time religion, not as this plain tradition, although it worked with old-time religion. It was a very modern phenomenon. Think of this, the mid-20s, radio. Think what that did to reduce boundaries. Think how hard it was to keep out voices you didn't like. Think of how you could propagate. Del Rio, Texas had little fundamentalist Baptist stations, and they got all over the country. You would never have heard of them otherwise. The coverage of the primal event of 1925 in America, the Scopes trial, in which William Jennings Bryan and Clarence Darrow duke it out. Well, WGN Radio Chicago was on the spot, and every day you learned what had gone on in Texas. It used to take years for that to happen. So I think we're still living with that. I think there's a new, if I can use the word twice in one conversation, new quantum leap that came with digitalization and the internet. It's harder to keep walls, so you have to work harder to build walls. And there's a lot of that going on. I think you get insight from it. I don't think that most of the scholars are finding new things about fundamentalism or the religion. They're putting to use some things like this. We see the ISIS and ISIS at prayer. Well, if you're a Muslim, you're going to do it at prayer. You know they're going to use it in slogans and so on. But I don't know of anything any of them have done to contribute to the understanding of it the way the groups I mentioned a little while ago did. They found things in Hinduism and Islam that had been suppressed that could be used in a new way. Now it's just grinding out militancy, as far as I can tell.